Well, hey there, folks. Welcome back to our Year of the Inner Child. Today, we are going to explore how we can open ourselves to warmth and joy. The summer sun warms the grass while birds dart and soar overhead. Wrapped in a light blanket, a baby absorbs the sun's rays with a hint of a grin on his face. The rays caress and soothe like a mother's gentle hand. The sun nurtures him. When I was a baby, my parents had little time or energy to nurture me. I instinctively felt devoid of something special and essential. Instead of focusing on what my parents did not or could not do, I can heal those empty places myself by nurturing the needy infant within me. The sun can nurture me today if I set aside some time to be outdoors. Any activity will do. Working in the garden, taking a long walk, lying still on a blanket, riding a bike, playing golf. I'll take notice of the sun's warmth against my skin. My body relaxes as the rays melt away tension. With little effort, I can allow nature to fill me. The infant inside me feels cared for as I open myself to warmth and joy. Oh, I love this invitation for this week to get out into nature. There's so much to gain from putting our feet into the earth. We come back to this theme again and again, and I don't think that's any surprise when we're thinking about reparenting and nurturing our inner child. Children love to be out in the earth, digging in the mud, playing. They aren't concerned about getting their clothes dirty or getting wet. They stomp happily into that puddle. They bounce into the pile of leaves. They dig their hands into the earth. I remember growing up, being in nature was such a huge part of my experience. I was blessed to have nature very close growing up in Oklahoma. I could walk across the street into the park, and there was a creek there, and I could go down the block, and there was what we called the Pathfinder, which was just this path that wound through the woods, and then there were trails that kicked off of that, and you could really go and explore and absolutely laying on a blanket in the backyard, soaking in the sun, watching the clouds. Now, today in my adult life, I again have the blessing of being near nature. I have the ocean right out my door. I have a beautiful Golden Gate Park up the block from myself. And the other day, I was out at the beach and exactly did that. Just laid back, watched the sky, watched the clouds, wasn't busy, wasn't hurried, just soaking in the sun, letting my eyes gaze and drift, and feeling the ease of that warmth, joy, relaxation. I love this sentence. My body relaxes as the rays melt away tension. We talk a lot in Beyond Surviving about how to use cognitive skills and how to use somatic skills, but using nature skills, I think, is actually super, super important. It takes me back a little bit to my days teaching at a private school in St. Louis, where we used Howard Gardner's The Eight Intelligences for learning and education, meaning that we would think about how do we teach this lesson with language? How do we teach this lesson, maybe through music? How do we teach this lesson through visuals? How do we teach this lesson being in nature and using nature as the teacher? And so I've long really loved this way of accessing knowledge, of accessing comfort. And I hope you too can find some time this week to get out into nature, to generate some warmth and some joy and to release some tension and to comfort. I love that sentence too, right? Like the needy infant within me. Right? So think about that when you're feeling tantrumy, when you're feeling bored, when you're feeling like overwhelmed, think about it through the lens of that child's mind and accessing nature as a place to nurture and love yourself. Right on. As always, if you have any questions, comments, ahas, I'd love to hear them. And until next time, take good care of you.